Hello, Forecaster here again, and we are back for Detour number 33. And this is They Are Billions. Now, this is a strategy survival game developed and published by Numantian Games. And it was released earlier this month, about just over a week ago, almost two. And it is quite an interesting game. It's, as you can see, it's an RTS, a strategy game, but instead of playing against a different faction, very similar to your own, you play against the zombie horde, and you establish a colony, as you can see in front of you, and you try to survive managing resources and advancing through the tech tree. And generally it's a bit slow, which is why we are joining a game in progress. The start is pretty slow and not super interesting. And you try to keep the zombies out of your colony. And like I said, advance through the tech tree to unlock more stuff and collect resources. And there are some similarities to something like Age of Empires. You have a command center, or a town center in Age of Empires, which is your most important building. If that is destroyed, you lose. And it is also responsible for all construction. Unlike Age of Empires, you don't have workers. Buildings kind of build themselves, I guess. And the resources collect themselves as well. Or, well, you have buildings responsible for that. For example, the fisherman's cottage. You have some resources. You have wood, stone, iron, and oil. And these also represent the different ages. And the way you advance through the ages are you have these workshops, which work as research centers, kind of. So here we have the wood workshop, and we are currently in the wood age still. And once you build this, you can research some additional wood age technologies. And then you can research the stone workshop, or you can do that first if you want. And the stone workshop, when you build that, it allows you to research or unlock Stone Age buildings, and it allows you to unlock the Iron Age workshop, which may be called a foundry or something, probably. And the Stone Age is actually the furthest I've gotten so far, because this game is pretty challenging, incredibly so. And I am not playing on normal difficulty. I'm playing on easy. And there's some customization you can do when you start a new game. You can, I don't actually remember. There's just 3 or 4 settings, but for some reason I can't recall what they are exactly. You can change the length of the game, and I think lengthening it makes it easier, presumably because the attacks are spread out. When you play in a shorter time frame, they are compressed, and you have much less time to actually prepare. And then you have the amount of zombies, I guess, is what that other setting is. And then you can change the map, and the maps are randomly generated, but there are 4 different themes, I guess, and the other 3 are locked until you fulfill certain conditions, which include which are things like winning above a certain difficulty on a previous tile set, or previous theme. Now, one of the things that make the game challenging is that it doesn't take a lot for you to be overwhelmed. Now, regarding the enemies, we have some zombies. Yes. We have some zombies moseying about here. We have an infected town here, and these can produce zombies, particularly if you shoot them. And then you have, we can't see any right now, but there are groups of zombies wandering about, and there can be single zombies just wandering around randomly. Sometimes they wander towards your colony, and hopefully you have something to take care of them. Like right here, we have a group of 4 that are approaching, and I've dispatched the soldier that I had in this tower to hopefully deal with them. Now, this might not seem like a lot. 4 zombies isn't that many, but the buildings are completely defenseless. And a big issue is you'll notice this yellow bit on the health bar on a lot of these buildings. The tower doesn't have a yellow segment, but what will happen is once this yellow segment is depleted, the building becomes infected. It will not be destroyed. It will kind of turn into something similar to these, a husk building, and all the workers that are inside, this building has 4 of them. I'm not sure if that actually corresponds to the amount of, like it actually has that amount of people in it, but it will generate zombies that represent the infected workers. And cottages, similarly, have 8 colonists inside of them, 4 workers, and they will also produce zombies when they become infected. And you can pretty quickly have a horde spawn in your settlement, right in inside the walls. Now, I don't really have any walls, which may be an issue. It's going to cause these guys to come in. And they are, of course, going to immediately start attacking surrounding buildings, which will produce more zombies. And then you'll have more of them. And they will attack your command center. And once the command center becomes infected, you lose. And you have to start over. Buildings like these Tesla towers, which are used to expand your build area, they only have 1 worker in them, so they only produce 1 zombie, which is not too bad. But things like these and these that have 10 workers in them can be quite a problem. Now, fortunately, I do have some snipers, and this one just got promoted. Oh wait, no. No, he's about to be promoted to a veteran. When a unit has killed about 100 zombies, it's not exact, but 1 zombie roughly corresponds to 1%, as far as I can tell. They are promoted to a veteran unit, which will have faster attack speed, more health, and I think more damage, and they become a lot more useful. Now, units are not throwaway things, because the way resources work in this game is a little different. We have the straight up gold and wood and stone and so on that you produce at certain intervals. If you have a look at this sawmill, which produces wood, obviously, it has a progress bar. When this fills up, it will produce, let's see, 5 wood, as you can see here. And it depends on the amount of trees that are in the area of influence around it. And then it will start over. And then once it fills up again, it will produce 5 wood, and so on. But then we have different types of resources, namely workers, food, and energy. And these are not stored. You have a production rate. It's a bit similar to how it works in Supreme Commander. I think would be the closest that I can think of off the top of my head. And you have producers. For example, energy is produced by these mills currently, which is the only energy producing building I have. They produce 30 energy each. And then, for example, a cottage will use 3 energy units, and a sawmill will use 4. And when you build a sawmill, you have 4 energy units removed from your positive balance, and you don't get those back as long as the sawmill is active. It's present and working. Now, some buildings you can actually suspend, like the sawmill, and that will actually return the workers and the energy that it would use to your pool. And then you can turn it back on again, and it will require those back. You can see here, turning this on will require 4 workers and 4 energy. And that can be useful if you need those workers or that energy for something, because you can actually, in some situations, you can lock yourself out of building things you need to build other things you need. You'll actually need to free up some resources to do that. And building military units actually costs workers. And you basically convert a worker into a military unit. And if that unit was to die, and I think I've actually lost a ranger, because you start with 4, and I think I only have 3 left, because I was stupid enough to let one die. You don't get a worker back, because they die, obviously. So you definitely want to avoid that. Now, I've had these 2 snipers stand here and snipe zombies that are pouring in from this infected town over here. Let's put a tower here. And you can see that I place down a building, and it automatically starts building. And once complete, it will be available. We're going to have to deal with this. Okay. I've never seen that happen before. That may be a bug.
Let's get them. All right.
Okay, you can sit here in this tower. This sniper has become a veteran. He now shoots a lot faster. I'm actually going to have this sniper get out in front so he gets some more kills. Nicely enough, units auto heal when they are not being attacked. So units will regain health. Oh dear. That is a chubby. Those have a lot of health and are super annoying. I want to research the Great Ballista. Shouldn't be too big. They're not too big of a deal for snipers, especially one veteran one sitting in a tower. The towers, of course, protect the units inside and also increase their range, which is nice.
Death, lovely death.
One drawback, though, is that you can't actually select the unit inside. So you can't see their stats, you can't see their veteran progress, which is a little annoying, actually. That audio clip is way too long, I think. Oh, and this game is also in early access, by the way. So it is being worked on, so there may be more features, more content eventually. They did release an update just earlier today, I think. Now we have the Great Ballista. We can build that, but it costs workers, which we don't really have any to spare. I'm going to upgrade some tents into cottages. There are a lot of zombies pouring in from this
Last night I dreamt of brains exploding.
village or town.
I need to kill something. Who do you want me to punish?
Just tell me what to do.
Okay, we need to have one of these
Brains exploding.
veteran snipers move down here. You can go sit there, and you sit in the tower. Start sniping people, you too. The art style is really nice. The quality is actually pretty good on the models and such. You can zoom in a decent amount, and it's a bit cartoony style. Like cel-shaded is the word I was looking for. Although things like the grass actually looks a bit painted, which is nice. There is an infected executive. They have a bit more health than just an infected fresh, and you have young, which are relatively weak, and you have decrepited, which is probably, I think that's not a word. It's supposed to be decrepit, and they are pretty much the same as the young. And then you have, of course, things like chubbies, and there are some other types that I'm not actually going to spoil, because I think you should, if you decide to play this, you should encounter those on your own, or something like that. Would have liked to build a wall here, but I can't because the zombies keep pouring in. Actually, now I may be able to. Get a bit of a wall here.
Just give me something to shoot.
Buildings do, the wall does work while it is being constructed. The parts are solid. They just don't have full health yet, of course. So you may want to be careful with that. You can't build or repair things or too close to enemies.
Who do you want me to punish?
Which can obviously, which is fair.
Are you reading my mind? Bullseye.
No, I'm not. Not reading your mind. Let's put a gate here. For some reason, sometimes it doesn't actually let you click things. You have to click multiple times before it'll work, which is
You read my mind.
a bit annoying.
To the death.
Looks like snipers don't actually get more health when they become veterans.
Die. Bullseye.
So that is
Death sentence.
a bit unfortunate. Let's have you come out
I
here.
need to kill something.
You to get closer so you can
Like a
actually
snake with its
kill
prey.
things. You are almost a veteran, so that's nice.
Tell me your darkest thoughts. Die. Bullseye.
Oh dear.
I smell this coming. Just give me something to shoot. Who do you want me to
Nice.
My rifle is
You
ready.
are dying.
So many targets, gotta love it. Just give me something to shoot.
Now, this may not seem very difficult, but every now and then, and the first one has already happened, there will be a horde that spawns at the edge of the map somewhere, and it will approach it will head for your settlement from a direction, and presumably they get larger and larger the more times it happens. The first one on this difficulty is pretty small and pretty easily fended off, as long as you have a bit of a wall at least and some towers. And then the second one is a bit bigger, and then the subsequent ones are even bigger. And preparing for those is kind of the point of the game. And then, of course, surviving the set amount of days. And I've yet to actually win a game. So I've always managed to make a dumb mistake and lose. Usually by accidentally letting a zombie or two inside and have them spawn more zombies and overrun the settlement. So it's a nice and challenging game, definitely. Now, probably won't be making a let's play of this, at least not right now, because I have other things that I want to play, and it is in early access, and I would probably
My bullet in the head.
want to wait until
Pushing a bullet through some brains.
until it's fully released and more complete.
Just tell me what to kill.
Dozens of infected are near the colony.
There we go.
They are approaching from the south.
Like
Oh.
a snake with its prey.
There's a chubby.
All right.
Okay, so they're going to attack here again, which is actually where
It's a
the
nice day to die.
last group attacked from. And you can see that they are they've appeared there. You can track
need
their
to kill
progress
something.
towards your settlement. I would like some more food. We're going to have to research farms. And I'm actually going to take one of these rangers and position at the gate here so that it is protected. And you can actually stay there. I would like a couple more snipers. Pretty much a group of 3 snipers is really powerful, and they can just wander around the wasteland outside and snipe things. Another annoying thing is that you can't make diagonal gates, which bugs me. That means, for example, that I can't make an opening here without making an actual opening, which might let zombies inside, so that's not really something that you want to do. We also have the great ballistas now, which we could make. Put one here and here. And you can see the horde. It's more than, I think it's at least 4 times as big as the initial one. And this is just the second one. See how fast they make mincemeat or mincewood out of the wall. There's the farm. Let's research the stone workshop.
I need to explode a skull. Nice target.
Okay. There went that tower.
They are trying to break through. Attention. Building completed.
Yeah.
Death. Lovely death.
Put the sniper back in this tower over here to help
What's up? Any infected around?
guard this
Gotcha.
area. We're going to want to upgrade
Whatever you
into
say, as long as you pay me. Taste my arrows.
stone walls and towers and gates as soon
Faster than
as
my
possible. That is going to help immensely. Could do with some more workers. Probably build a farm that we unlocked.
Our
There.
soldiers are in trouble.
You are gonna pay me for this, right?
Ah, shoot. I reacted to that too late. Lost a veteran ranger, which is incredibly unfortunate and dumb of me to let that happen. Let's see if we can take this stupid
give me something.
town out now.
It's a nice day to die.
As a bit of revenge, I guess. The buildings pose no threat other than the risk of them spawning zombies.
Attention. Building completed.
To the death. My bullet in the head. Let's go. Die. To the death. Death sentence. Good day to kill. Are you reading my mind? Death sentence.
I do enjoy micromanaging snipers for some reason. That brings me joy. And zombie deaths.
My bullet in the head.
Enemies also regenerate health, by the way, when they aren't taking damage.
Are you reading my
So
mind?
if you stop
Good day to kill.
attacking a zombie
Die.
and leave it alone, it'll soon be back up to
Slow but lethal.
health.
It's a nice day to die.
It's starting to get a little much. The Great Ballista is nice because it can kill multiple enemies with a single shot. Let's produce another sniper. We should be able to train him up. I'd like to build a stone workshop, but I need more space. Probably expand in this direction. Encapsulate this iron here, because we're going to need that. It actually costs iron to
I need to kill something.
train the snipers, presumably to make their weapons.
Sniper is ready.
I bet you are. We actually have a tent that we can upgrade there. But then I'm also going to build a couple of, well, one cottage there.
Who do you want me to punish? Let's go.
Attention. Building completed.
Slow but lethal.
Put him over here. We'll be covered by these two snipers, so he's not in too much danger. Things get too close, they will take care of them. He can stand there and get some experience. Now we are running a bit low on time, unfortunately, but we can build a couple of these on these directions.
So many targets, gotta love it. To the death. All right.
Attention. Building completed.
Roger that.
I'm just going to leave him
Attention.
there.
Building completed.
Let's pause the game. It is nice that you can pause at any time and still issue commands and such. It's always a lovely feature. Let's see. We needed energy. I am going to construct a quarry there to collect iron while I can. Need more workers for that. And I need more energy to build a cottage. So there we have run into a bit of a deadlock. But like I said, I can turn off that. And we can now build, once we have collected some more wood, that is, we can build another farm over here, this lush area here, which will produce more food, and then we can use that food to build more cottages. And I'm going to cut the video short here, pretty much, because we have passed the 30-minute mark, and I want to drag on for too long.
Die.
But this is a very, very nice game, and if it seems interesting, if you enjoy a bit of a challenge, I would definitely recommend it. And with that, I will see you in the next video.